What's up guys, it's Orange. Today I'm going to be giving you an opinion on some of the subclasses that are great in Crucible. So this is going to be more directed towards sweats and higher skill level gameplay. In pub you can really use whatever you want for subclass, and even in sweats you can use whatever subclass you want. If you choose to go with it, you can really use whatever you want. This is just the 9 subclasses in my order, which I think are the best and the worst. So starting off, coming in at rank number 1, I'm going to work from rank 1 to last just because it's easier like this. So taking the top spot for sweat subclasses, I'm going to go with Sunsinger. Now the reason why Sunsinger is such a great overall class is nades and melee, it's probably the best in the game as a combination of the two. Flame Shield is amazing, and as well as Firebolts, they just burn the enemy. You can also run Fusion Grenades if you want, those are really good for sticks. And actually Solar Nades aren't too bad if you run with burn on those things, they will kill really quick. So really all the Sunsinger Grenades are really strong, as well as the Flame Shield melee. This is a really good class for shotgunning, and you could still snipe pretty well in this class as well. So it's just a good overall class. The super, it's not the best super, but for what you get with the nades and melee, I mean, it's a decent pushing super. Firebolts, 2 Firebolts kills, so I mean, it's just really aggressive. Great with Shoddy again. So coming in at the second place is going to be Night Stalker. Now there's a lot of good things about Night Stalker. Probably the most noticeably is the Wombo combo. Smoke and nade kills extremely quick. Probably one of the best combos in the game to throw at somebody as far as nades and melee go. Again, you can make yourself go invisible if you want for flanking and sweats. A little unorthodox, but still viable in some situations, especially if you're a shoddy. And you also have Shade Step, that's a great perk. And then the super is really good for shutting down other supers. You know, if a Blaze coming at you, if a Storm Transit's coming at you, all that good stuff. Even a Sunsinger, I mean, pretty much any super, right? Except the Nova Bomb and a Striker, which you're kind of screwed. But it's just a really good super, really nice nades and melee again. That's why it's going to take the top spot. So again, in this list, I'm not just going off of the actual super, it's the subclass skill tree. So that's another big part of it. So coming in third place, we have the Voidwalker. Really good nades, melee pretty good with lifesteal, you can get your health back very quickly. Another good shoddy class. Pretty much all the Warlock subclasses are pretty good at shoddying. The Axiom Bolt, really great for zone control, pushes people back, they can't stay, or they're going to hit with that nade, which does a lot of damage. So that's a really good class. Super is great, Vortex or Lance. I really don't go Shatter too much. I've seen some people do it, but it's whatever. Shatter is really good. I mean, not Shatter, but the Super, the Nova is really good. I mean, obviously, it's pretty much like a throwable Titan Smash, pretty much, and that's why I'm going to give that over the Striker. So coming in next is the Striker. Striker is probably one of the best shotgun classes, just because of the fact that you are obviously a big striker. You know, you have a lot of health, armor, you can get a lot of that on. And then you have Juggernaut. Juggernaut is an amazing perk. You get that shield if you don't know what it is. It could take a sniper bullet and take no damage. You can take a shotgun bullet and take no damage. And you get it back immediately once you start sprinting. So it's a really great ability if you're, especially if you're going to be a shotgun titan, which a lot of people are. Striker really good. It can shut down supers. It's really good counter supers. So that's another good super. You know, it's just really good. Nades are really good. Lightning nades extremely well if you use them correctly. You also have the melee, which is the Storm Fist or whatever it's called. It does a lot of damage. It does like 1.5 times the amount of a regular melee, which is a really good, especially if you're trying to take down a Blade Dancer. One shotgun and a melee takes it down a lot easier than most other things. Usually, unless you get a point blank shotgun on a Blade Dancer, it usually takes more than a shotgun and a melee, so it's kind of hard. But Titans are really good at taking out rushing Blade Dancers, especially again if they're shoddy with their conspiracy theory, and a punch will usually kill a Blade Dancer. So that's another reason why Striker is really good. Next we so now Storm Trance. This is gonna be the 5th best subclass. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, 5th. Melee is extremely good. Amplitude. Nades they're kind of lacking, and that's why they're a little lower on this list. Their nade really isn't that good. The best one to use, I don't really use Storm ever. I just stick with Arc Bolt. Arc Bolt got a considerable nerfing its damage from 121 to 90, I believe, or 90 something, 91. So I got a pretty considerable nerf after the Taken King, so that's why I kind of dropped down a bit. Super is actually pretty good. Unfortunately, you're kind of slow with it. Ionic Blink goes nice with it if you want to, try to avoid sniper shots, but you're kind of slow with it. It's kind of easy to shut down, especially if they have like a Titan Smash or a Nova. Those are really easy to kill them with. But again, they're a pretty good shotgun class, but also a pretty good sniping class as well. But yeah, they're pretty average overall. That's why it's a little lower on the list. So next we have Blade Dancer. Now I know some of y'all may be kind of surprised that Blade Dancer is this low on the list, but honestly, nades are really good. First of all, super. It's like it had its ups and downs recently. The Blade Dancer, sometimes hit registration's faulty. Again, it's a pretty low health super. I mean, you get a little bit of a buff, but again, with a Titan Smash, or not Titan Smash, a Conspiracy Theory and then a Punch will usually kill you. And with hit registration, it's just really tricky sometimes. Kind of frustrating if you mess it up. Razor's Edge is really good. I mean, a lot of people underuse that. I use it a lot. If you watch my montages, always getting kills with that. It's a really good ability. Quick Draw is amazing. That's one of the best things on Blade Dancer. Blink got a considerable nerf recently as well, so it's kind of not there. And then Melee. Melee. So Backstab, a lot of people use that, and it usually comes in handy. I'm not gonna lie. Face Stab, where you hit him in the face, also hits the crit. That's really nice. I personally run Fast Twitch just to get it back immediately. You literally get it back in 5 seconds. I feel like Fast Twitch is very underused. But again, it just has some faults with it, and that's why it's a little lower on this list. Next, we have Gunslinger. Now, this class, really good super, but it's really risky because you're low health. Like, one shotgun around a corner and you're done. You have to be really cautious with this super. It's a really good attack, really good offensive super, but you have no defense when using this class. So that's what you really have to be careful with when using Golden Gun. Throwing knives, I'm not really good with them personally. I mean, I'm kind of a little biased since I really never used throwing knives. I'm kind of ranking this a little lower. But if you're good with a throwing knife, you can body shot with like a hand cannon and then a throwing knife that'll kill. That's actually pretty good. If you're good with that, that works nicely. Trip mines, I feel like most people can avoid trip mines most of the time unless you stick them directly, which works out pretty well. But most people usually stay out of the way of trip mines, so the nade is kind of meh. But, I mean, really good super. Nades and melee, not so much. I don't really use, they have the chain your 3 to get your reload and stability. I don't really find that useful. So that's why it's close to the bottom of this list. Next we have Defender. Now Defender, the nade, the suppressor nade is actually quite good if you know how to use it. Again, this is one of those classes that if you know how to use, it could be #1 for you. I mean, Bubble, great for generating orbs. You can get up to 3 orbs generated for your team. That's really nice in sweats, especially when you're trying to get supers. The melee is actually not bad if you're going to shoddy rush with it. You get that overshield. I believe you're getting a melee kill, so that's really nice, kind of similar to Flame Shield. So it's a really good shotgunning class. In pubs, especially if you're using the no backup plans. Obviously, you can't use that in sweats, but in pubs with that thing is insane. And the nade, the suppressor nade, if you're good with it, or the magnetic grenade to stick people. So again, a pretty good class. I mean, obviously the super's a little more defensive, a little more support role, but it's a really good class. I'm sad to have ranked it this low, but I was just looking at the other stuff, and I had to rank it this low. And then finally, Sunbreaker. Now, Sunbreaker super used to be, obviously, when the Taken King first dropped, amazing. It was literally so OP. But with the nerf, you really have to be really accurate with hammers, and the travel time of the hammers gives a lot of people a lot of time to get out of the way of it. The fusion nade is pretty good. The melee with the fire burn, it's pretty good as well. Fusion nades aren't that great. They really don't have that many good nades, except their incendiary nade, which is pretty good. But you have to be very accurate with that nade, as well as the fusion nade. The thermite grenade, in my opinion, is just really bad. That pulsar doesn't work for me. But the super is kind of, it usually loses to most other supers. You can pretty much juke a Titan out, especially a Sunbreaker out, pretty easily if you have Blink or something along those lines. So that's why it's ranked lower on this list. But that was my general review of the subclasses. Hope you enjoyed this video. And that's about it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Peace out.